Hello, this is Kim, and this is Kim Can't Stop Crafting, my channel, and I am involved with the collaboration with Sandy for the 13 Frights Before Halloween, Sandy's 13 Frights Before Halloween 2022, and she has different people who are doing 13 different projects, one a week before Halloween gets here. This is my number 5 project. The other people who are participating, I have their links to their channels in my description box, so just go ahead and click on those links and you can see what the other people are making also. So like I said, this is number 5, and this actually relates to what I did in project number 4. So I had shown you how to make some different like embellishment corners or embellishment frames, and so now I'm showing you how to use them and incorporating, just adding a paper clip, or not a paper clip, what do you call them? A clothespin. So this has been around for ages, but you get a lot of bang for your buck. So it looks really cool. It's a nice little gift. So the first 3 I'm going to show you are already done. They're still from the ones that I did in the last video, but then I'll show you 2 more that I'll do on camera. So the first one, you're going to notice that there are names on here. I'm actually gifting these. I'm going to put some candy inside and give it to a teacher that I work with who has been helpful, helping me with some technology things. So anyway, the first one, this was the frame that I had made in the first the video last time, and I just cut out a moon and some stars and put the little boy's name down at the bottom. And then I have a clothespin. So these are the clothespins that I am using. I got them from Tuesday morning. Mine's closed now, but they're the DIY shop, American Crafts, and they were only $1.99 for, what is it, 8 of them? 7 of them. So that's what I use for the clothespin. I put one of the pieces of ephemera from the collection. I have been using these felt bats a lot, and then I just put 2 little flat back black pearls, I guess, on the bottom. And so the bag I had had this decoration on it, this pattern, and so there's what the first one looks like. I think it's cute. That's a good way to give candy to someone or a Halloween gift. So the second one has a different feel. It's more vintage or country looking, I think. It's not as bright. This was the original frame, and I added some bats. Now these bats have a little bit of glitter just to add a little bit of difference to it, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit. I put some eyelash trim hanging and like a spider crawling up to it. The letters down here spell the little boy's name, and then up here again I covered the clothespin with some paper both sides. Put 2 googly eyes, a ticket that says Lucky 13 Drive-In, and then another bat. So that is that one. And the next one's for a little girl. This one's hard to see because of the black paper, but it's a shiny black paper. This was the frame, and I cut out some curlicue things with a punch that I have, and the clothespin, I covered the back. This is like a chalkboard. I'm going to use some of those today too. They were from Dollar Tree. I think, yeah, this is Dollar Tree brand, but they came with 4, and so that's what I based the decoration on. I put it on top of that chalkboard. It's kind of thick. Cut out the words beware. I had a chipboard piece with a witch, glued on a orange bling piece, tied a bow with some twine, and then I wrote her name on the side, and I just wrapped some eyelash trim around to kind of give it a spooky feel, I guess. So that's that one. And this I might fold down a little bit before I put the clothespin on. But I just think that has a cute presentation. So the 2 that I have left to use for this episode is this one and this one. Okay, so I had 2 different bags. This one, just kind of it's not a lunch bag, it's a craft bag, but I'm going to use that one for this because it's got the stars on it that are kind of the same. So I'll be putting that on this one. And the other one that I have is kind of a animal print. And I will put that one here, and I'll put some things around it. So I'm just going to kind of design as I go, like always. If it gets to be a little bit too long, I'll speed it up or what have you. So I decided that for the clothespin, the first thing you're going to do, which one did I use? So I decided on the paper. Is this the one? Or is this? I think it's this one. So what I did was I just took art glitter glue and I put it on the clothespin and I set it down on the paper where I wanted it. Then you trim around it just with scissors. So I have a little excess here, and because it's glued pretty well, I'm going to go ahead and just take my scissors around the edge of the clothespin. And you can do this with any size clothespin. I just happen to like that these were already black, so I didn't have to go in and paint them. And so once I'm happy with the trim, I'm going to take my file and I'm just going to go around the edges. This might make a mess, but I'm just going to go around the edges to make sure it doesn't have any overhang. Now you can leave it like this with that rough look around the edge. I'm actually going to get my black soot ink and go over it so you don't actually see that white. Now a lot of this is going to be covered with my chalkboard tag anyway. Okay, so then I would take my black soot ink and just go around the edges to try and cover up that distress look. Okay, and then what I'm going to end up doing is gluing the other side and putting it on a piece of paper. So I found the spot that I wanted to glue this one down on, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that, because remember I'm making 2 of them. And the place that I wanted, usually I'd put it at the end so I only have to cut one side, but the spot that I wanted that had the graphic was more towards the inside. Okay, so Little Witch's hat here is the one that I wanted. Okay, so I can look from the back just to see if I need to trim anything else. I think I see a little bit down here. Okay, so once again, I'm going to take my file. I do kind of like the rough look too, without the black soot. It's up to you. It just makes sure that it's on your wood piece without any overhang. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ink the edge. And it covers up the white of the paper there on the edge. Okay, so now I do like to put paper on both sides. So to do that, all I did was use art glitter glue. So now I want to find where the back doesn't matter as much because you're not going to really see it. I think I'll just do the back here with the pumpkin, or maybe I'll do this side. Let's make it mainly orange. Like I said, you're not really going to see it anyway. So art glitter glue pretty much works for everything in my book, so go ahead and I do fully coat it. Like I said, you guys, this is nothing new. It's just that it's nice to see different varieties and how they turn out. I think people enjoy getting a gift that you've taken the time to add a little something extra. So I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other one too. This one has more of a green and orange look to it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the back. I've already inked this one. I like to make sure I get the sides and the corners real well. And I'm just going to lay that down. Push down a little bit so it's smooth. I don't think I pushed it down as well on this side. And then I just have to let it dry just for probably about 30 seconds to a minute. So we'll wait for it to dry before I cut it. Alrighty, so this dried, so let me go ahead and trim around this side. And like I said, I'm doing 2 of them, so I'll go ahead and do them at the same time. Get each step done. And it doesn't look very even, which is totally fine, because then, like I said, we're going to take this file. A lot of this is going to be covered with that chalkboard tag, but I still think it's important to kind of look at the small details and just make sure that you have everything nice and uniform. And let's go ahead and cut this one, and then we will ink the edges. You know how some people do that boo your neighbor, and they have a saying that they include? I think this would be cute to put something in and leave it with your neighbor. At school, it would be nice just to put a random act of kindness bag in somebody's mailbox. If your kids are going to a Halloween party, little kids, so I don't think bigger kids would probably do it, but you could take that, make goodie bags if you're having the party. You can put magnets on the back of these so that when you're done, they can hang it up on the refrigerator if they want for decoration. All right. So let's go ahead and get our ink. Go around the edges. This one too. It just kind of gives it a finished look. All right, so I'm going to start with the clothespin for the layered frame, this one. And I have a punch that I went and punched these little, I don't know, they kind of look like little suns to me, or little flowers, but I'm going to go ahead and make that the background. You don't need a whole lot of glue. And I cut some in half so that it looks like it's coming off the bag. I don't do the back of the bag. I only decorate just one side. I always have. I don't know, maybe I should, but so I just laid these out ahead of time so I knew where to put them. You could do something more Halloween-y. Like I have a bat punch that I could have used, but because it's a cute little girl, I thought maybe I would go this route instead of scary. So I have a little excess glue, so I'll just take my dry wet wipe. I believe in doing really easy, quick crafts for Halloween. I've never really been a big Halloween person. I like the decorations, and I've made a lot for my home. I made a witch's spell book that I love, but I don't know, I've never liked really dressing up as a kid. Our school used to, the teachers dress up sometimes, and I did it for years, but now I'm kind of at the age where, you know, I don't really want to do that anymore. It kind of stressed me out trying to come up with an idea. Alright, so now I hope I glued these down in the right spot. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue this down, and I'm going to use, I probably should have one more here. Let me do a little, punch one more, even if it's just a little half one. I'm just using scraps here. I want it to look a little bit more balanced. And I'll just put that one there. Okay, let's go ahead and put glue. Now you can use hot glue, but I think this art glitter glue works for just about everything. I love it. I'm just basically putting it on the main parts of the haunted house. That's the thicker chipboard piece. That's the part that will be attached to the paper. Okay, go ahead and press down on that. And so now our paper clip, or sorry, our clothespin will be up here in the corner. So again, I might fold this down when I put something in it. So let's go ahead and do that just to kind of get an idea of where the clothespin will be. Okay, so it'll be about like so. So I do want to use the chalkboard piece from the Dollar Tree. So you can use it this direction or you can use it this direction. I think I'll probably use it that direction. Now because this is kind of girly, I thought I could put a gold filigree piece. It's in the shape of a flower. And I have this candy corn here, so I thought I could put the candy corn in the center. But before I do that, I think I'm going to take some twine and wrap it in a circle. My hands are dirty. They're black from all the black I'm using. And then I think I'll glue this down first, just to give it some interest, and then I'll put the, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'll put the candy corn piece on top. So I've got my glue gun started. I hope it's ready. And I'm just gonna put some in the center here. It does not feel ready. So let me move. So also what I'm going to do is when I put this off on the side, I think I'm going to put maybe this like so, and then I'll put words off to the side. Maybe. I don't know if I like that or not. Let me see if I've got something else I can use. Let me get my glue gun heated up. Alright, I believe the glue gun is hot, and so I'm just going to put a little hot glue here and set this down on top and give it a chance to dry. I didn't twist it very well. Okay, so now let me take out the little candy corn cupcake that I think is so cute, and I'm just going to set that on top. So I am going to add hot glue, even though it's got adhesive on the back already. I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue. And stick that down on top of that. And I got it on my mat, which I should have known better. There we go. Okay, so that's the little flower. And I found a cat chipboard piece, and I thought being there is a cat in the corner here that I would add that. And I think I'll have it kind of coming off the top and the flower down here. Like so. So this is already, it has adhesive on the back, so I'm just going to add a little extra glue to the bottom, and then I have the, I think it's cornstarch or something to take away the sticky. I want to cover the hole. to get that excess glue. So on the back, I have this little handy dandy thing. I'm just going to dab, and that will take away the sticky. I'm pretty sure it's cornstarch or something like that in here. It's getting there. Okay. And you don't have to have one of these tools. You can just put some on your finger and go over it too. All right. So before I put this on, I think I'll do that now. I'm going to go ahead and just put some hot glue in the center. And it's going to kind of overlap the cat's foot, and that's okay. I think for those of you who follow me, you kind of know I like to embellish and just kind of layer and add things. I don't always use just paper. I like to use a lot of three-dimensional type things. So now I have some orange bling. And I'm just going to add 3 pieces along the bottom. I always like to do things in odd numbers. And one more. I'm hoping that glue will dry clear because I have some oozing out from underneath. I just made it worse instead of better. Well, I don't like that. Let me take it off. Oh my gosh, now I did it with the other one. I think it'll be okay though. Okay. I hope. I don't want it to... No, that's going to bother me. Hold on. Alright, I think I need like a little bow on, even though it's supposed to be scary, I think I want a little bow on the cat's tail just to kind of... I mean, it is a little feminine. It's a little cute girl. So I have another piece of twine. I'm just going to tie that in a bow. And I think I'll glue that onto the cat's tail. Let me try it again. There we go. Get the bows even. That's still too big. I want it really small. Yeah. And maybe I'll put it at the top of that curly cute tail part. Let's take a look and see how it looks. We could put it down here. Nope. I could put it up here. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it up here actually. And so I am going to use art glitter glue, and then I'm just going to clip it on with a clothespin so that it will dry and not fall off. So I'll let it stick for a little second here. And then I'll glue that onto the clothespin, and I think that one's going to be done. It's kind of gaudy, but I kind of like it. As I look at it, I'm thinking, oh, what else can I add? But I don't want to go too, I mean, it already has quite a bit of stuff on there. But you can never have too much, right? Well, yeah, you can. Okay, let me let that dry, and I'll put it on about right here. I can go ahead and put the glue on. I'm just going to put it in the center here. And let's lay it down. And there we go. That's that one. Kind of gaudy, I have to admit. Okay, so now let's do another one. This is the one I have now. Now this has already got a wild background, so I'm not going to really add a whole lot. Let me take a look here. So I have this. I have another one of those chalkboards. I think, do I want it to go this way this time? And then put that off to the side. I have an owl beings. There's owls down here. I happen to have a punch like this that I punched out an owl, so I could put that. And then I think I could just add bows. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the owl. Now I cut it, when I cut it out of the paper, I realized it was too bright compared to this. So I did have to take some of my black soot and I went over it so that it looked a little bit more roughed up and not so bright and shiny. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and place this. Now it's already got adhesive, but I am going to have to take off some of the adhesive right here. So again, I'm going to get this handy dandy tool. And I'm just okay. It's going to go up here like so. I feel like I need a bow, and I think it needs to be black and white. And I have a little bat, and because there's a bat here, I think I'll glue that on. Just have it coming off the side here. Like I said, when I design, I just kind of go with it. I don't have anything in my head ready. Okay. And I do have some gingham type ribbon. Let's go ahead and glue this one down. And my thinking is people may not keep the bag, but I think they would keep the clip. And so it's okay if it's a little bit gaudy, just because I don't think they're going to end up keeping the bag with it. And so separate, it wouldn't look as gaudy. That's my thinking anyway. Okay. Now I do have maybe black flowers. I do have some stars here. So maybe I could put some stars up here to kind of make it go together. Let me take a look at my stash and see what I have. All right, so I have these two little pieces of like jute or twine left, and I thought, well, I could just crisscross these and place them at the bottom here. So let me put some glue, and I'm just going to lay them down, like I said, like an X. And then I have a bigger bling piece that's orange that will match. Can't get it picked up. Oh my gosh. There we go. And I think I'll use a dab of hot glue there. My glue gun is dripping like crazy. That's a mess. That's not what was supposed to happen. But it did, so I got to work with it here. I'm going to have to go through. That is a mess. Oh, for crying out sakes. Let me try something else. Let me do it one more time. So I have them at an X. And I'm just going to, maybe I'll use the glue off to the side. My glue gun is, you guys, I have this really good glue gun. This one, It drips like crazy. Look at that. I thought it was supposed to be a really good one. I haven't had that much luck with it, to be real honest. Okay, so there's that. This is going to work better this time. Get rid of the extra glue that's coming off. And now I am going to, I'm still going to use hot glue gun to get that on. But I'm going to lift it up here. Oops. And much better. And I think I'll just leave that empty right there. And now I'm going to adhere it to my clothespin. And I think I want to see that pumpkin down there. So I'm going to lift it a little bit higher. So I'll glue it about right there. So I'm just going to put glue on the actual clothespin. And then I'll lay this down like so. All right, and again, I think I would bend this over a little bit. I'm gonna burnish it. And when I attach it, it's going to be about right like so. And of course it would be open, so it's going to have more dimension. But I just think that's a cute way to gift some candy or some Halloween embellishments to someone. So hopefully you can see how you can use those layered frames embellishments that I did. I happen to put them on a bag. Like I said before, you can do a card, but then you can add your clothespins. They don't have to be the thick ones. You could use the thin ones. And here are the ones that I did that are finished now. I know some of them are off camera. Let's see if I can back up a little bit. Just a little bit better. And this one. And that one. All right, so happy Halloween number 5. This is the 5th one before the 5th one in the series. We still have 8 more to go, and so I'll be racking my brains trying to figure out what the other 8 are going to be. So I'm just keeping it real here, people. I don't know where I'm going to go after this. So give it a try. I mean, it's nothing hard, but I would like to see them if you make them. I think people would enjoy getting those for a gift. All right, happy Halloween, everybody.